With the rubber face. It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Comedian Dylan Mandlsohn joins us at the round table. Okay,
it.
give us the background on Man with the Rubber Face.
I guess I could make a lot of goofy faces. I guess I have the ability to do that. And then people are like, he's got to be made of rubber. But it's not.
Well,
It's just, you know.
Well, you're kind of long and lanky too, like the comic book character Rubberman, that he stretches out.
I thought you were going to say Gumby for a minute. I was like,
no, Rubberman's a superhero.
Just a choice of different flattering words you guys can pick from right now.
It kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey. He was able to do a lot of facial things with his body and his face and everything. Did you have any idols that you looked up to when you were getting into this business?
A guy by the name of Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he was definitely a big influence on what I wanted to do. And since then I've loved so many other comedians too, and have been influenced by a lot of their work as well. But yeah, the rubber face and the physical comedy largely comes to him, but Dana Carvey's another one. Going way back, Rich Little, I was actually a big fan of him when I was much younger, even though he was like an Ed Sullivan, Johnny Carson guy. But yeah, it's I've since then just a lot of different comedic influences. Got a big library.
Here you are now performing some of that library of fun things and jokes this weekend over at the Improv. But to get up to this point, right, to perform here in Vegas, what does one do as a young kid to gear up for that? Do you study these musicians? You're not musicians, these comedians.
Yeah, I think the first thing you want to do is really decide how you want to disappoint your parents. That's the #1 thing. And then, just comedian, I'm good at that, I can do that.
Yeah. Well, we've got a clip of you performing a little while back. Let's take a look.
You know why your kids are so stupid? There's a lot of morons in teachers' college right now. You know how I know? I went. And I hated this program, though. I hated the way they treated us. From the very beginning, in these big assemblies, all these neurotic professors just struck fear into us. It's gonna be very stressful. It's gonna be very stressful. Some of you will die.
Why do you do that? I'm like, yeah, I do that.
Okay, now you have to say that again. You're watching yourself and you're critiquing yourself. You don't like that?
Sometimes I do. I watch that and I'm in shock that I'm doing that.
It's an out-of-body experience?
It is a bit of an out-of-body experience because I do watch that. Like, it's not lost on me how extreme those faces are. And sometimes I'm watching like, ew.
Do you get in the mirror? Do you practice at home? Kind of going,
I do, but to see it on camera is a different thing. You know, like when it's just a mirror and a bunch of bathroom tiles. It's just it's a different experience. But like to be on TV and people really responding to it, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Does it make you laugh? Like, do you understand why people laugh with you?
It is. I understand why they're laughing because I've practiced it, and yes, I get that part. But when I'm watching it for the first or second time, I do have to digest it a little bit. Like, I'm like, wow.
Like, should I never do that
Those are some
again?
faces, huh?
Well, Dylan, you're from Canada.
Sometimes.
What part of Canada?
Yes, I'm from Toronto.
From Toronto, so you're used to cold winters?
Yes.
Are you loving it here in Vegas, enjoying the weather?
I'm loving it here. Every time I get off the plane, my first thought is a very genuine, I want to move here.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't just say it to say it. It's a very cliche thing to say.
Beyond the Strip, what do you love about Vegas?
It's just the Strip.
I just
like the Strip. I just want to move. I want to get a condo somewhere, in Trump Towers or something like that, and just. I love it here. I think that there's a lot more to this city.
Thank you.
I play trampoline dodgeball.
Really?
I just said those 2 words in a row.
Wow.
And my team from Toronto, we won a Toronto tournament that took us here to Las Vegas to compete for $20,000.
How did you do?
We didn't do as well as we would have liked.
You need more practice.
We're gunning for it again.
And
that's the thing. Like this city is more than just gambling and overpriced stakes.
Trampoline
Well,
dodgeball.
one of the things that's really big here, of course, is boxing. We just had the big